the lies they say. The very last hurricane that I felt inside. But recognize, I won't be denied. Every fucking battle you talk, but you don't get embarrassed. You got a question in anything cold. Ever been in Jerry?
In terms of your style, battle rap wise, you know, is that the heavy punch and the back-to-back punch and all that? Was that influenced, or that was just you out the gate?
That's just me out the gate. Like I could say that maybe my energy is influenced a lot by like Hitman and Tay Rock. Like them was really my favorite battlers. Really Tay Rock coming in when I first started battling, he was my favorite. He been my favorite for a long time. Rum Nitty might have dethroned him now, you feel me? But before that, you know, Tay Rock, I just love to see him just like going off on a nigga back to back. Like especially that Ill Will battle when he was just hit the Ill Will and the JC battles and the Briz Rothstein battles. Those are probably my 3 favorite battles from Tay Rock, because those is when he was just going off and just every bar punching back to back. So I guess you could say like my energy would be influenced by them, but as far as my rap style, like all of that is just me. Like everything I try to include as many bars as possible, but enough for motherfuckers to understand.
Yeah. Did you start out watching URL when you started?
Yeah, like I've been watching URL for the longest, since at least either 2010 or 2011. The first battle I seen was I started off watching Iron Solomon. That was the first dude. So it was either Iron Solomon versus Shirt and Tie, or it was Iron Solomon versus Math. It was one of those. But I remember the Iron Solomon's little class scheme. That's what really got me into battle rap. When he was taught her sex ed and wood shop. Now math is history. I thought that was the hardest shit ever.
Math is history.
Yeah, I thought that was the hardest shit ever. So I just been watching battle rap ever since. So yeah, URL, Grind Time. I've been watching all of that shit. That's when I really started. Yeah, I love URL, man. That's my shit.
That Iron Solomon battle you said with Suit and Tie, that was the shit with them battling outside?
They was in a barbershop, him and Suit and Tie. I don't know where him and Math were. It looked like they were in some type of construction yard.
No, because I'm thinking, because you said Suit and Tie, and that don't ring a bell at all.
What do you mean that doesn't ring a bell? You know that battle.
Iron Solomon had on like this army suit and like
you know it, Jay. 100%. You have to.
But this is what I'm saying. They wasn't like outside or in the lobby of a building, like.
Nah, they was in a barbershop.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's still fire, man.
That's one of the original.
Those are the 2 that started me off, and I just been watching battle rap ever since. Then I got into Sue Surf heavy. Sue Surf was my nigga. Sue Surf still that man. He probably had the first bar that ever made me say wow, like was that church bar that you are in the middle of that. That shit
was crazy.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. That's like a triple. It's like you are in the middle of that, but you are in the middle of the church because you're at a funeral. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. When he first said it, I went crazy. And I remember I was watching the pay-per-view. I can't remember who. I remember people was like, yo, that shit wasn't that good. I'm like, when I explained it to them, they're like, yo, that shit is good. I'm like, yeah, it really was. Which, again, it's like it was creative also, but it was also a heavy risk, you know, because people could have really looked at that like, yo, that shit is super trash.
Man.
Kind of a chance to take.
That kind of like changed. That kind of like changed punching low-key in battle rap. That was like the first thing where somebody really like broke down a word and really like made it to some like different, like, because before then it was really just always like word association and stuff like that. Feel me? So it's kind of, I don't know, that was wild. Surf had a lot of wild bars. I was a Surf fan for a minute, especially Gnome 3 versus Hollow. Even though a lot of people that the main focus is the Nash, like he had some nasty shit.
Right. No, that was a good battle. It was a good battle.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I still feel that he beat Hollow on that, but it was a very good battle.
Yeah, that's what I be saying too. Like, Be hollow.
I think
Whoever explain one way to explain that night, Brandon.
Yeah.
If you was watching that game,
Yeah.
That time out in Michigan, that was cool.
Yeah. Yo, but let me ask you though, does it bother you at all when people compare your style to B Magic even before you battle them?
Not at all. B Magic is the best. What was the best? One of the best punchers of all time. You feel me? So it's like
That's a fact.
And I have a flow. We both flow and punch. So, and they always gonna compare you. You can't never get mad if they not comparing you. Then you're not good. Like they're not comparing you to somebody else. Because if you was trash, they just gonna say you trash. Or they're not gonna say, oh, he sounds like a trash version of B Magic.
Right.
Like a trash version.
That's a fact.
So, hey, more power to you. And then hopefully I can continue to carve my lane, and hopefully in the future y'all say some of the new motherfuckers sound like Saynt. You feel me? And we continue to cycle.
That's very true. That's very true. That's a possibility. How was the preparation for those battles? But like in terms of if you separating, because it's two different styles, right? So if you're looking at your preparation for Great Fox, and then right after that you're preparing for B Magic, what's the difference in the preparation?
It's the exact same.
It's
The exact same. As long as I'll just be focused on, just having hard-hitting bars and outthinking my opponent. And most of the time, I'll be correct in my assumptions. So I just try to, think about it. It all just depends on who could be the most clever in that instance. And I feel like ain't nobody mind fucking with mine. So like if we're in the same space, like you put me in the same space as you, I'm gonna be able to come up with some more wild, outlandish shit than you are, because I feel like my shit, I just think like a weirdo. So I'm gonna be thinking in a whole different type of time, and I'm gonna come out with something that you didn't think of. So I'm not really worried about what another motherfucker is going. I'm not gonna change just because it's I'm battling B Magic. Like nah, I know what makes the crowd move. I know that when I'm on the same cards as these people, I'm getting the loudest reaction of the night. So as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, I can make the crowd move harder than they can, because I've been doing it. So just you got to stick to your guns, man. You can't be trying to switch shit up. That's where Nitty had fucked up versus Tay-Rock when he came out with that angle.
Yep. Exactly.
You got to stick to what you do, man. You can't just. It's good to. You
He
got to
did
know
one to third.
yourself.
The angle. He was trying to take an angle against Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know yourself and know how to stretch your style. You feel me? Like it's all a game. It's all a game. But as far as preparation, I prepare the same. As long as I could get at least 2 weeks of me just knowing my bars and just saying my bars over and over again, and I'm solid.
Back and forth with the bars. Is it something that you find yourself, all right, I gotta write all this shit down because it's too much in my fucking head? Or you one of the people who don't write at all? It's just everything is.
Oh yeah, I definitely write my bars. I don't think there's nobody in battle rap that don't write their bars. Like,
oh no, there's a few.
Twerk acts like he doesn't.
Yeah, Twerk probably. Twerk, I ain't gonna say. All right, let me take that back. It's a few people, but I feel like most people in battle rap write their bars. Like, it's not like a studio where you can just go in and punch in and punch out.
Right.
Like, you got to be able to remember this shit, unless you just writing it the same day, which some people do. Twerk be doing that shit. And if you're successful, I seen my dude Dre Vicious do that shit. Like, I can't do that shit. I tried to do it the same day that Dre did it. I choked in all rounds.
I mean, that's
shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? You got his shit off flawlessly. So some people could do it, some people can't. I can't. I need my preparation time. So yeah.
Yeah.
For all the people who are gonna watch this, I just want y'all to realize who did me brought up again. But, I'm just saying. That
I mean, I brought him up
what
in
you got a recurring
go-to guy.
We got some recurring shit going on.
I've been trolling Twerk for about 2.5 years now. So.
Okay.
But he won't stop mentioning him, and that's the first. That's the first guy. That's the first go-to guy when he think of anything. Anyway,
Hey man, Twerk be on that bullshit.
He does, man. What do you mean? Like I ain't never lied on him. I just bring up what he
This is
does.
not about to be a
Twerk
conversation
be
about
on
this.
that bullshit.
Yo, we're not interviewing
All
him.
right. I mean, he just recycled against tape. I mean,
No, I don't
against
care.
K-Shine, bro.
Listen,
Like
all right.
what?
All
Like how do you recycle against K-Shine? I thought
Let's move on.
NWX was gonna help him out with that, but apparently not.
Listen.
All right.
Let's move on. So for the West, I see a few guys, and one of the guys you battled. So I've been doing this thing,
Oh,
quarantine. So basically,
Your volume is dipping, Jay.
my volume is different.
Yeah, you sound like we can't hear you that well.
Audio.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, nah, it's kind of it went out.
Yeah.
I'm hearing what y'all hearing. That shit.
Yo, so I'm gonna have to.
You're back. You're back. You're
All right.
back.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know what you probably had your hand over the speaker or something.
How the fuck?
You sound better. You're back. All right,
But listen, I forgot what the fuck. Oh, so I've been
There
doing
you
this
go.
quarantine thing.
any idea?
I'm basically suggesting 10 battles. I'm picking 5 people and I'm suggesting 2 of their battles for people to go watch while we're on quarantine. While I was doing that, I came across your battle with Ron Compton. Just what do you think about guys like Ron Compton, who clearly are nice as fuck, but you know, what is missing here?
Some niggas styles like have trouble connecting with the crowd. Like nigga, sometimes like you could be nice, but it's a difference with being nice and being able to be nice and have your material be reactable and have people like you connecting with a crowd and you being able to rock rooms and having that entertainment factor. Like everybody, no, I'm not gonna say everybody, but you could rap and be a good rapper and shit and be nice, but that don't necessarily mean that you will be the most entertaining when you in front of, you know, a crowd that needs to be entertained. So it's like you gotta be able to, bars is not the only thing that matter. And they matter, but it's like it's weird. It's like how you gotta present your bars, how you wanna, like some people have a trouble, like when you hear a bar and it pop up in your head and you could exactly see what the dude just rapped about, that's when that connects with the crowd and shit like that. And sometimes people have a hard time with their writing structure. It's like it's hard to follow and shit like that. So when it's hard to follow, when you're in a building and motherfuckers is drinking and smoking and doing all type of shit, it's kind of like, you know, it loses the engagement. So that's where a lot of people have trouble with, you feel me, just engaging the crowd. It's kind of an art.
How did you feel about the material he had for you?
Who, Ron Compton?
Yeah.
It was cool. I feel like I smoked him in the first 2 rounds and then I choked in the 3rd round. So that's how I always felt about that battle. I feel like I won clear. When on my come up, before all this King of the Dot shit, like I wasn't never on no, like I don't even listen to my opponent's rounds after the battle, especially if I feel like I won. Like the only opponent rounds that I really have watched like that is my battle versus Clutch. I like his rounds, and my battle versus Grizz, his rounds were pretty good. But other than that, I feel like I be smoking dudes over here, like, so I don't even be like, his rounds was cool, like, but they wasn't fucking with my rounds. He told me he won one day. I was laughing my ass off.
Who?
What the fuck are you talking about, buddy?
Ron Compton?
Yeah.
Well, this is my opinion on the battle. So I watched the battle, I think twice. I want to say twice. So I felt like overall, I think he had more bars than you. I felt like you had harder hitting bars, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was really harder for me to judge that because it's just one of those things. Like you, what you bring to the table versus him is completely two different styles, and it's not. I don't feel like you steamrolled them at all.
Yeah.
So when I sit here and listen to him, I'm like, yo, fucking Ron got some fucking bars, man. But then here you go, and it's more of an impact. So that's what makes me, that's what gives me the hard time judging that battle, because I'm sitting there looking at it from that perspective. I love bars,
Yeah.
but I love everything. You know, I love your style. I love that style, the back to back punching. I love the flow to it. I love all that shit. So it's one of those things, like I look at it boxing wise. Like, you know, you have the guy who's the power puncher, and then you have the boxer. You know, just because the boxer isn't landing these shots that's fucking breaking your eye open doesn't mean he's not winning the rounds. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is for me, and I like the battle. Either way, I think first off, there's certain battles I feel like there is an illusion, and this is what I mean by that. If you make me want to go back and watch that battle as a whole, I'll give you a perfect example. Earlier today, I was watching Calico versus Big K. I skipped off Big K's rounds. And that's not dissing Big K, because he was cool in that battle. But I really liked what Calico had to say and the way he put some of the shit together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to go back and watch that battle like that. I just went just because I want to hear Calico's rims. Whereas there's battles out there that I want to watch the battle multiple times. Like for me, I don't know how many times I've watched A-Ward and Ilmac.
Man,
And I
that's a
feel
great
like
battle.
That's a dope battle.
but it's one of those battles where I think Ilmac won, but it's another one of those things. Mac had a lot of shit in that battle, but so did A-Ward. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So again, I think people who would watch you versus Ron Compton would lean a bit towards you in the first two. But I just, like I said, for me, I'm just like, there's completely two different styles. And Ron was saying some shit. I just think you had a more of an impact. You had the
Yeah,
harder shot.
definitely. Ron definitely has some shit. I feel like, I don't know, in rap battles, I don't know. I feel like the point is to who have the hardest bars. Like, it don't, me personally, like, I always, like, you could have a million, like, bars, like, you could have, like, all these little nice bars, but if nothing is really making everybody be like, I understand the analogy of the fighting and the power puncher but I feel like that's different because you boxing, like, and you really, like, if you really punching on a nigga, like, that still hurt, that's causing damage. But like in rap, like, the shit that cause damage is the haymakers, like the little bars in between that contain good rapping. That's not really causing damage. It's just like, okay, he's rapping cool, yeah, but so that's really. But I understand your perspective, so I understand how somebody could think that way. You feel me? But the way I judge most battles, I try to see like who have the bar that make me think like, damn, like that was hard as fuck. Like, where could you possibly have thought of that? Like, I want to hear the most original shit that I never heard of, rather than just a bunch of good rapping. You feel me? But I understand both sides, so that definitely makes sense.